Hi, good morning. Happy Thursday and an overcast Thursday it is here in the Chicagoland area. I am Sandy. Welcome back to episode 47 of my weekly 5-minute faith life vlog. I haven't uploaded in a few weeks. That is not for lack of inspiration material, just time constraints, I guess you could say, or some of the drafts I do create. I didn't quite execute it the way I wanted it. So here we are a few weeks later. A couple of things I wanted to touch base on. I feel like I should always put that disclaimer out there that this is my personal Christian journey. I am sort of learning and studying the Bible as I go along just since about 2016, so 4 years or so. And I'm not a theologian. My interpretations might not be accurate. And the last thing I want to do is misrepresent God or not be a good disciple. And I could be embarrassed or shamed and take vlogs down, but I do leave them up and I try to circle back like I am today and set the record straight, set how I maybe missed the mark somehow. For instance, I had watched a rabbi, I can't think of his name, Rabbi Friedman, and he asked the question, why are we here? Why does God have us here? And he answered it quite simply, because God needs us here. You are here because God needs you here, to bring God down on earth. And I think that was kind of almost too logical, too analytical. Not too long ago, I was listening to a sermon on the radio in my car, and the pastor asked the question more or less the same way, like, why are we here? Only the Christian-based answer, I feel like, is a better representation of why God wants us here. He was explaining how God is trying to create something new, trying to create a new heart, a new mind, a new way of interacting with one another, a new, just pure kind of love. When Rabbi says God needs us here to bring God on earth, I mean, that is what God is. God is this pure love, this complete virtuosity. So there's sort of the same answer, but I responded differently. I responded, I think maybe better to the Christian-based response of why we're here, why God has put us here. It really goes to the heart of why. It explains why God created all of this. He created it to create something different and beautiful and pure, just a new kind of heart. And we meditated on a verse this morning that I feel like plays into that a little bit in my prayer group. We meditated on Romans 12, 3-5. Because of the kindness that God has shown me, I ask you not to think of yourselves more highly than you should. Instead, your thoughts should lead you to use good judgment based on what God has given each of you as believers. Our bodies have many parts, but these parts don't all do the same thing. In the same way, even though we are many individuals, Christ makes us one body and individuals who are connected to each other. So, in the version we read, I ask you not to think of yourselves more highly than you should, but to use sober judgment. That was in the version we read. I like the idea of sober judgment. It is a lack of influence. It is just a clean slate. It is just a pure kind of judgment. And that judgment is explained to us in the Bible. It is the word, what God expects of us. And that's the standard we should hold ourselves up to, whether we're reflecting on ourselves or others. So speaking of others, I feel like the rest of the verse saying that as one body under Christ, it's like our own bodies. These parts all do different things, but they work together in harmony to make us, these upright, thinking, talking, doing human beings. The admin pointed out that, even on our own bodies, there's like parts that just seem kind of weak, the appendix, if you will, but we shouldn't look at others in society that way. We have to trust that God gave them a gift too. And one of the other members of the prayer group pointed that out aloud. He said this verse was saying to him to have faith in the other person's gift. And I thought that was an amazing perspective. And if you're someone that's quick to judge a book by its cover, and let's face it, we all do that from time to time. And maybe you run across that person that just on the surface, you can't possibly imagine what they could offer. You have to have faith in the gift God gave them. And that's kind of a gift in and of itself. It reinforces your own faith. That's it. I am totally over and I'm running late, so I don't even know if I'm going to get this up today. Have an amazing rest of your week. I hope I see you next week, not for my glory, but for God's. God bless. Bye.